Hi guys, let us understand today Struts framework, and we'll just see the introduction first at the intro part of the Struts. Let us set some agenda for the Struts framework. We are having agenda for for a Struts. We'll just see the Struts 2.0. So we are having some version in the 2.01, even the current is a 2.3. Okay, so we'll see that what are the different versions we are having, and then we'll see what is MVC. I mean, what is a model view controller. Okay, we'll see the detail on MVC design pattern, right? And we'll see the different model of J2E architecture. So, and we'll see the difference between the struts 1.2 and 2.0. So let us understand this. Now next we have to understand the features of a struts 2.0, and then we'll see how we can set up the environment for the struts in our PC. And next, let us understand how to start the struts frameworks. So write some examples, and then we'll know how to develop struts 2.0 application. Okay, I'll try to develop or proceed by two different ways. One, through the Eclipse, that I'm using Indigo version of the Eclipse. Second, I'll try to manually deploy the struts application on the Tomcat server. Okay, so I'll be using here Tomcat. Okay, so on this Tomcat server we'll deploy our struts2 application, and then also we'll try to do directly through the Eclipse event. In the Eclipse we'll configure a Tomcat server and we'll just do from there itself. Okay, so let us proceed towards this now. So let us understand first this one, struts framework. What is a struts? What is a framework? What is a struts framework? Okay, what is Apache Software Foundation? So actually struts is developed by the Apache Software Foundation. In short we call ASF. Okay, so it is a non-profit organization. Okay, Apache Software Foundation. Even Tomcat we are having from this uh, organization, right? And Struts is another framework which is from the Apache Software Foundation. So let us get inside. Okay, now if you are going to do Struts, you have to require some of the understanding like Java. So you must know Java first, because you were developing the Java code only here. So if you have a Java 1.6, that's fine. The latest is 1.7, as you know. Sublet and JSP. Here we'll use Sublet 2.4 and JSP 2.0. Okay, so these are the two versions we're using here. And you must know the XML. You must have an idea of XML, extensible markup language, because some of the codes in the XML format, and there's the one Tomcat, Apache Tomcat server, that Babe server we will use here. So you must have a little idea on this aspect. Okay, now what is Struts framework? So as I said, Struts is provided by the Apache Software Foundation, that is ASF, which is non-profit organization and provides software projects. Okay, Struts is a part of one of the such project like Jakarta Project, and initially it was Jakarta Project. Now it is Apache Struts. So its initial name was Jakarta Struts even. Okay, but now we know by Apache Struts. Okay, because this Struts was initially part of Jakarta Project. It is available under the Apache license and is free and open source. Okay, remember it. Who has developed? When it was has been developed? Okay, sorry. So the Struts project was launched in May 2000 by Craig R. McLennan. Okay, so this is a guy who has launched this project. Okay, Struts allow JSP sublets. Okay, so in Struts, what we are having? In Struts, we are using just a technology like JSP and sublet. Okay, then what the Struts providing you? The Struts providing you a MVC design pattern. You can develop your project by using Struts. If you are using the Struts framework, okay, you are implementing this design pattern in your project. Okay, it's a model view controller. So what exactly it is model view controller, we'll come to know here. Look at here, the aim of the Struts project was to provide an open source framework upon which a web application can be designed by separating business logic and presentation logic. So there's a different tier we are having, like as we know, let us say if client is requesting, let us say this is a client requesting to the server. Okay, on the server what we are having, we are having two things. Just one is the web tier, right? Second is the business tier, right? And third is the integration tier, right? And then fourth is a EIS tier, right? This is your integration tier. Okay, this is your business tier, web tier, and this is my client tier, right? So this is my client tier. Okay, here in web tier we are using just a sublet and JSP, right? There are some other technology. So your struts fit here only. Okay, so this struts what provide it is providing you the sublet JSP based stuff, and you are implementing some MVC design pattern here, right? So business tier, struts never must talk about the business tier. Okay, there is just a one poso class that will use. So struts helping you to like differentiate or separate your presentation logic, okay, and business logic. So struts solve the problem of coupling of data in a web page. So now it is my presentation layer is separate here. Okay, the section of the code that perform a task are separated and they communicate with each other in a predefined standard way. So now this guy, if we have something like the poso class, they will interact with the business tier, and business tier will further interact with the some of the layer integration tier like JDBC, let us say JNDI. There is a number of integration based, or for integration tier there's some technology. That guy will further interact with your database, right? So okay, Now, before understanding Struts framework, let us understand first what is a framework. So I can say framework is a set of classes and interfaces that cooperate to solve a specific type of software problem. Okay, so it's nothing. Just I can say it is a having good number of classes and interfaces, which is helping me to solve some software problems, right? There are number of software problems which has been resolved by evolving like design patterns. We are having good number of design patterns. So if we use that design patterns, so that problem will go. So that framework that's provide some of the software problem solution for the software problems, okay, by providing some of the class interfaces and by some different architecture, okay. Now framework characteristics. A framework is made up of multiple classes or component, each of which may provide an abstraction of some particular concept. The framework defines how these abstractions work together to solve a problem, right? The framework components are reusable. That is very good. See? So you can develop some kind of components which you can reuse. It's not hard coupling, right? If we use or basically framework provides decoupling, right? If you're writing some softwares or some of the projects, and if you're having keep in mind that I have to write in a decoupled fashion. If it is decoupled means it is a highly reusable and highly or easily maintainable. Okay. A good framework should provide generic behavior that can utilize across many different types of applications, right? Okay. So these are the basic characteristics we are having for the framework. Okay. So even there are some drawback of framework. Frameworks are not flexible. Change is unacceptable to the provider, right? It's a very having a good learning curve actually. Frameworks impose a way of thinking, design and code according to the framework. So you have to proceed according to the framework design and implementation, right? You cannot have a much freedom to do something, okay? Frameworks increase the learning curve. So it is not suited for a smaller application. If you're developing some small application, it's not required. You can just do without a framework, like just using sublet JSP and writing some own set of designs and all. Okay, struts. So now struts is a framework. What is a framework, you understood? So now struts is a framework means it is also having some good number of classes, good number of interfaces, and it is providing you some solution of certain problem that generally we get in a software development. Okay, it is giving you the one of the design patterns, that is the MVC design pattern, that's the model view controller design patterns, right? Okay, and Struts advantage provides a central organization architecture for building and controlling MVC based web application. Enables clean separation between the code for functionality and code for presentation. So here your functional code is separate, your presentation code is separate, right? Built-in internationalization and having capability of input and display in a multiple language. So it provides you the concept of I-18N. You can easily develop an application which is a multi-language. Let us say if I open in USA, okay, it will come in English. If I open the same application in Japan, it should come in Japanese. If I open the same application in, let us say, German, it should be a German language, okay. So it is a multi-language. I can say that on the basis of multi-language, you can develop the application. It is having a support of internationalization. You can easily develop that, right? Built-in extensible authentication and validation. What we do generally, if we make a form and that form go to the suppose sublet, right? There we do validation. Else we write some JavaScript for validation. But here, Struts is providing with the validation and authorization or authentication stuff. It can be easily validate. You need not to do much. You can validate through Java code. You can validate through XML code. So there's the two things here we're having: Java code and XML. So there's the two way we can validate this our form data through a struts. It is very easy to validate. Allows modular development and easy integration with new components. Separation of web-oriented programming and distributed functional programming. So we can also like include enterprise components. Okay. So these are the major advantages we are having with the struts. That validation part, internationalizations, right? It also provides you tiles framework. You can develop an application very easily if you're having like most of the application you might have seen. If this is my page, you might face there is a header, you might get some footer, right? And there's just some menu, right? So this is my say header, right? This is my footer, this is say menu, and this is the body part, right? This is called tiles framework. Now Struts is providing you a tiles framework. By using this tiles framework, you can easily develop this kind of application. Okay. So these are the advantages. And next, disadvantage of Struts. There are some disadvantages we are having, like what we have: less transparent. Less transparent in the sense, lot of things is happening in the background that we are not knowing. So with a Struts application, there is a lot more going on behind the scene than with normal Java-based web application. As a result, a Struts application are harder to understand, harder to benchmark and optimize. Rigid approach. The flip side of the benefit that Struts encourage a consistent approach to MVC is that Struts make it difficult to use other approach. Okay, so it is just working on this MVC design pattern only. Okay. So that's all about the introduction of the struts now. Next we'll have a closer look to the MVC. What is a model view controller? Okay.